Okay, so when you hear the words whey protein, what pops into your head? Probably a giant tub of powder and a bodybuilder's shaker cup, right? Well, what if I told you that's barely scratching the surface? It's time we unpack the hidden science.
Yeah, you probably think you've got whey protein all figured out. But the real story here isn't just about building bigger muscles. It's about this incredibly complex biological toolkit that can protect your cells and, believe it or not, even help build new life. So let's dive into the science that's hiding inside that tub of protein powder.
All right, first things first. We have to completely reframe what whey actually is. We all tend to think of it as just one thing, a bulk ingredient for muscle. But it's way, way more accurate to call it a bioactive matrix.
So think of it less like a bag of flour and more like a collection of highly trained specialists. Seriously, it's this whole symphony of amazing compounds, a byproduct of making cheese, and each one has a very specific job to do inside your body.
And inside this matrix, we find a bunch of star players. For today, we're going to focus on just 3 of them: cysteine, leucine, and lactoferrin. And trust me, these 3 alone are going to show you just how powerful this so-called simple supplement really is.
Let's get into our first big idea: how whey protein fuels your body's ultimate defense system. And no, this goes way beyond just recovering from a tough workout. We're talking about something much deeper.
You'll often hear this one molecule, glutathione, called the master antioxidant. And I gotta say, that is not just some marketing hype. It's a title it absolutely deserves. This thing is crucial for protecting your body at a cellular level.
So what is glutathione really? Well, it's your body's #1 frontline defense against cellular damage, what scientists call oxidative stress. It basically cleans up all the cellular junk, makes sure your immune system is working right, and helps with detoxification. But here's the catch: your body has to make it. It can't just get it from food.
So how does your body make it? Well, it needs 3 amino acids, but one of them, cysteine, is the real bottleneck. It's the rate-limiting ingredient, which just means your body can only produce as much glutathione as it has cysteine on hand. And what do you know? Whey protein is absolutely packed with a super usable form of cysteine. So it's a simple equation. More cysteine from whey directly fuels your body's ability to ramp up production of its master antioxidant.
Okay, that's the biology. It sounds cool in theory, but does this actually work in a real-world clinical setting? Does it make a real difference for people who desperately need it?
Well, let's look at this incredible study. Researchers took a group of HIV-infected patients, a group known to have dangerously low levels of glutathione, and just gave them a daily 45-gram whey protein supplement for only 2 weeks. And the results? They were absolutely stunning. In just 2 weeks, get this, one of the whey formula groups saw their plasma glutathione levels shoot up by an average of 44%. That's not a small bump. That is a massive biochemical restoration, all fueled by providing that key building block found in whey. Just wow.
So, we've seen how whey can literally fuel our internal defense systems. Pretty amazing. But its building power goes even further, playing a fundamental role in one of the most demanding biological processes imaginable: creating a new human life. Think about it. During pregnancy, a woman's protein needs just go through the roof. And it's not just for her own body. It's to support the growth of the placenta and the baby's incredibly fast-developing organs.
At the very heart of all this growth is a powerful signaling pathway called MTO. The easiest way to think about it is like it's the master on switch for building new tissue in the body. When MTO is on, your body is in full-on build mode. So what flips the switch? Well, the science is pretty clear. It all comes down to a specific amino acid called leucine. And there's this thing called the leucine threshold. You need about 3 grams of it in one sitting to really get that mTOR pathway fired up. And guess what? Whey protein is one of the richest sources of leucine out there, with a typical scoop giving you more than enough to hit that crucial target.
And this is exactly why it's so vital during pregnancy. That leucine-powered MTR activation is absolutely critical for growing a healthy placenta. The rest of the amino acids in whey provide the literal bricks and mortar for the baby's organs and muscles, and they support the massive expansion of the mother's own tissues and blood supply. It's doing so much work. But remember what we said. The whey matrix isn't just a pile of passive building blocks. It contains active components that do even more. A perfect example is lactoferrin. It's one of those bioactive peptides we mentioned earlier.
This little guy has powerful immune-supporting properties, which, as you can imagine, is incredibly important for both the mother and the developing baby. It's just another layer of benefit, active defense on top of all that growth support.
Okay, so we've seen that whey can boost our master antioxidant, and it can support one of the most critical processes in life. But if you walk into any health food store, you'll see a bunch of different kinds. So, how do you choose the right one?
The two big ones you're going to see are whey concentrate and whey isolate. And it's not a matter of one being good and the other being bad. Not at all. They're just different tools for different jobs. So let's break it down. First up is whey concentrate, or WPC. It's the less processed version. That means its protein percentage is a little lower, and it has a bit more of the naturally occurring fat and lactose. But the huge benefit here is that it holds on to more of those awesome bioactive compounds like the lactoferrin we just talked about. Now, whey isolate, or WPI, goes through extra filtering. This pushes the protein content way up to 90% or more and strips out almost all the fat and lactose. The trade-off? Some of those delicate, beneficial peptides can get lost or reduced in that extra processing.
So that's really the core trade-off right there. Are you trying to maximize all those amazing bioactive compounds we've been discussing, or do you need the absolute purest protein possible with the least amount of lactose and fat?
Honestly, the right choice really just comes down to your personal goals and your body. If you have any trouble with dairy, you're lactose sensitive, or if you're on a super strict diet where every single calorie and gram counts, then yeah, isolate is probably your best bet. But if you handle dairy just fine, and your main goal is to get that full spectrum of benefits from the whey matrix, then concentrate is a fantastic and usually more affordable choice.
So, after all of this, we have to ask a totally new question. Is whey protein just a muscle supplement, or could it be one of the most potent, versatile, and scientifically proven functional foods on the planet, just hiding in plain sight inside a bodybuilder's shaker cup? Makes you think, doesn't it?